Hi everyone, I know many of you might be upset with me for not being around all these years. Honestly, I've been going through some really tough times, including serious health issues, not just for me, but also for my wife. She was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of, of soft tissue cancer in her leg. It's been a long, difficult journey. I don't want to burn you with all the sad details, but I felt you deserve to know a little bit about what's been going on in my life. That's why I decided to come back with this video, because I really didn't want to lose contact with you all. From now on, my content will be more like a podcast, a space where we can talk about random topics chosen by either you or me. I truly hope this new format speaks to you. But don't worry, I may also return to some of my other content styles from time to time. Can't promise, but I will try. Today's topic is health, something that's become extremely personal to me. Honestly, I believe health is the most important thing in life. Because if everything in your life is okay except for your health, then nothing is really okay. Nothing is right. Sometimes we forget how valuable our health is, caught up in the rush of daily life, until something serious forces us to stop and realize it. I remember the days when my wife and I were full of happiness, feeling like nothing could go wrong until life proved otherwise. You know, it's strange how quickly life can shift. One moment you're making plans for the weekend, talking about where to go or what movie to watch. And the next, you're sitting in a cold hospital room, waiting for a doctor to come in with news you never thought you'd hear. I remember the first time the word Sakuma came into our lives. I'd never even heard it before. It sounded foreign, cold, clinical. And yet, within minutes, it became the center of everything in my life. All our plans, routines, dreams suddenly paused. Time didn't just slow down, it froze. We went through MRIs, blood tests, waiting rooms filled with silence, and the hardest part wasn't always the procedures or the treatments, it was the uncertainty, not knowing what tomorrow would look like, not being able to answer questions like, will she be okay? Because honestly, we didn't know. And throughout this journey, I realized how incredibly strong she is, stronger than I ever imagined. There, there were days when she was in pain, when walking was hard, and when the emotional weight of everything almost crushed us. And yet she kept smiling for me, for herself, for her child, for her loved ones. That smile had carried us both through the darkness nights. But I also won't lie, I I've struggled too. There were nights I couldn't sleep, just staring at the ceiling, wondering why her, why? Why do good people go through such pain? Why does life throw such cruel challenges without warning? I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I do know this: pain changes you. It either breaks you down or it reshapes you into something stronger. And I'd like to believe that somehow we're becoming stronger. Now, I want to talk about something important. It's very important: mental health. We often talk about the physical side of illness, the surgeries, the medication, the test results. But what about what it does to your mind, to your heart? Caregivers, people like me, we expect to stay strong, to be supportive, to smile, to carry the weight without flinching. But inside, it gets heavy. You feel guilty for being tired. You feel guilty for needing a break. And worst of all, you feel helpless because you can't take their pain away. So, if you're someone out there who's also taking care of a loved one, or maybe you're going through something difficult yourself, I see you. I understand. And I want you to know you're not alone. And that brings me to why I'm really here. I've missed this, talking to you, creating. For a long time, I felt like I lost my voice. But I realized even broken voices can be heard. Even tired hearts still have stories to tell. So this podcast, this little corner of the internet, is going to be our space. Some days we'll talk about deep things like this. Other days we'll laugh about silly stuff, or share memories, or discuss completely random topics like why does everyone suddenly love plants? Or what would you do if you could restart your life from age 18 but with the knowledge you have now? Like this. No rules here, just real talk. And I want to hear from you too. Leave comments, send me your thoughts, even just say hi. Let's rebuild this connection together. Before I wrap up this first episode back, I want to leave you with something that's been on my mind. Take care of your health, not just your body, but your spirit, your emotions, your space. Don't wait until life forces you to slow down. Don't wait until you're sitting in a waiting room whispering prayers. Love the people in your life now. Tell them how much they mean to you. Do the little things that bring you joy. Because in the end, those small things, they're not small at all. They're everything. They're everything. The way you'll, sorry, the way your loved one laughs without thinking. The smell of coffee brewing in the morning while the world is still quiet. The random text message from a friend you haven't spoken to in months, just saying, hey, I was thinking about you. A hug that lasts a second longer than usual, a walk without your phone, a shared silence that feels safe instead of awkward. These are the moments, yes, these are the moments that don't go viral. They won't win you words. Nobody claps you when you fold laundry, or make it through a tough day, or sit next to someone just so they don't feel alone. But these are the things that build a life, a real one, not the one you post, the one you live. Sorry for my cat. And it took something as terrifying as cancer for me to really see it. I used to be so caught up in the future. What's next? What's bigger? What's better? Always one more goal, one more achievement, one more thing to check off the list. But when you're sitting in a hospital room, listening to the beeping machines, watching someone you love just try to breathe through the pain, none of that matters. Really. You don't think about promotions or likes or how many people watch your stories, or you just think, please let them be okay, please give us more time, please don't take them away from me. These are the words. And if they come home again, if you're lucky enough to hold their hand while they sleep, or help them climb stairs again, or laugh at something silly on TV even though everything still hurts, that's when it hits you. This this is life. The soft stuff, the invisible stuff, the stuff you never put on a calendar or include in your resume. We live in a world that tells us to be fast, efficient, productive. But I think real healing, doesn't happen on a schedule. It doesn't happen in to-do lists or milestones. It happens in the slow, quiet minutes when no one is watching. It happens when you sit next to someone who's afraid and don't try to fix them, you just stay. It happens when you make tea for someone who's too tired to speak. It happens when you say, I'm here, and mean it. So, if you're going through something right now, and it feels like you're stuck or broken or falling behind, I just want to remind you, you're not behind. You're alive. And sometimes surviving is the bravest thing you'll ever do. If all you did today was get through the day, I'm proud of you. If you didn't smile once but you kept going, I'm proud of you. If you cried in secret but still got out of bed, I'm proud of you. You're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to be exhausted. You're allowed to not know what to do next. But please don't believe the lie that says you're weak or dramatic or that you're supposed to have it all together by now. You're human. That means you get to feel. That means you get to heal at your own pace. Sometimes people ask me, how do you stay hopeful after everything you've been through? And to be honest, I don't always stay hopeful. Some days I'm angry, some days I shut down, some days I feel like life just isn't fair, and that's okay too. But on the days I can hope, even just a little, I try to hold on to the smallest things, like the way my wife smiles when she sees the cat curl up in a weird position, or cat boo-boo, or the way the trees sway when there's no wind, just a soft rhythm you almost don't notice unless you're really paying attention. Those tiny, fragile things, they bring me back, not all at once, but enough to keep going. So, yeah, when I say everything, I really mean it. Not the big wins, not the flashy stuff, but the little things. The kindness you show when no one is watching, the second chance you give yourself after a rough day, the quiet support you offer someone else, even when your own heart is tired. Those things might not make noise, but they make meaning. They hold us up, everything else is falling apart. And maybe that's what I want this space, this podcast to become. Not a place for perfection, not a place for performance, but a place for people. Real people with real stories, real masses, real hearts. Where we talk honestly, where we laugh and cry and ramble and remember what matters. Because in the end, when all the noise fades, all that will really matter is how well we loved, how bravely we showed up, and how deeply we connected with each other. So thank you for being here, really. Even if you're just listening quietly, and if you never comment or message me, just the fact that you pressed play means something. And if no one's told you lately, I'm glad you exist. I'm rooting for you, and I'll be here whenever you need to come back and hear someone say that again. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. By the way, if anything I've said today resonated with you, if you felt even a little connection, and if you liked to walk this journey alongside me, I just want to gently mention that I do have a Patreon page. It's a small space for those who would like to support this content to help keep it going and maybe in a quiet way be part of the foundation that allows me to keep creating. Of course, there's absolutely no pressure. Your presence here, listening, watching, even just being curious means so much already. But if you never feel like saying, hey, I believe in what you're doing, Patreon is one way to do that. The link is in the description. The door is always open, and whether you choose to support or not, and whether you choose to support or not, I'm just grateful that you're here, truly. Thank you for watching.